Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Saultsports.com. This afternoon, we are joined by new Thunderbirds goalie Noah Metivier. First off, I'd like to thank, we've got a couple new sponsors aboard of Soo Sports. Awesome. Dance Core Inc., Tammy Obi from Century 21 Real Estate, and Identity Salon. Identity Salon is a friend of mine, Franco, Cuglietta, who's a huge Montreal Canadiens fan, so I know he's really happy today. So first off, thanks for coming on, Noah. Congrats on joining the Thunderbirds, and just tell us your thoughts on joining that team.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me here. It's a big step going from the U18 team to a junior A team. I'm really excited to be joining the Thunderbirds for another year of hockey here. Playing in my hometown, obviously, there's nothing better than that, right? Don't have to move away from the family, you know. So I'm super excited to be signing with them. So
that's awesome. I know that does lead me to my first question I had written down to ask you. Did you consider leaving town? Was there opportunities to go play elsewhere? Was that you said you really wanted to stay home? Was that a tough decision, or was it easy just to stay home and play for the Thunderbirds?
Well, for the past month, I got offers from a team in Texas for the Odessa Jackalopes, and then I had an offer to go down to Iowa to play for the Dubuque Fighting Saints, and then a tryout in Vegas for the Tri-City Storm. But with all COVID and stuff like that, like it was just much easier to stay here. We didn't have to pay for flights. It was just a lot easier to stay here in the Soo.
Yeah, and the Soo's a good organization. You know, you're in good hands here, and then like you said, you get to live at home. Now, when the and not to be a downer, but when the OHL draft took place, you know, I had heard your name that you possibly might get drafted, stuff like that. Was that a big disappointment to you not getting drafted, and will that be motivation for you going forward?
I was a little disappointed, but from now on, I know I got to keep working, keep going hard. You know, I train 5 days a week with a personal trainer, so I'm working hard to stay at where I need to be, compete at the level that I have to compete at, and I think I have a good year with the T-Birds this year.
It's a little bit tricky as a goalie too, Noah. There's only so many spots, right? So teams could really like you, but they're set at that position, so it kind of does take away some of the options that you have, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sorry to interrupt there, Jim. Noah, the other thing, I was talking to a father the other day. His son from the Soo wasn't drafted, and his son was a little disappointed also. But the way I mentioned it to him is, and it's not against the NOJHL team at all, but now I guess you say being a free agent, if you went to someone's camp and didn't make it, you're not their property. You can go to another camp. So sometimes it's an advantage not having to be drafted, right?
Yeah.
Now, take us back, Noah. When you were younger, I remember you played football. I think you played 1 year, maybe Soo minor football.
Yeah.
You were a good football player, so I know you're a good athlete. So when you were a young guy, you must have been a good player all around. How did you end up becoming a goalie, and what led you to that decision?
Actually, this is a funny story. So I was in Tyke, and so in Tyke, you just ask around who wants to play in net, right? So I never wanted to be a goalie. I just said no, like I didn't want to do this, but they had to choose me. So I went in net, and I think we lost like 11-0. And I was just tearing up. Like I said I hated goalie. I never wanted to do this again. Next game, I was in net, and after that, I loved it. And I just like kept going. I loved it. Loved the position.
That's awesome. No, it must be. It's a stressful position, and it's got to be stressful on your parents. I know that my son played in that a little bit, and when you're sitting in the stands, it's stressful. Do your parents ever talk to you about that?
My mom, especially my mom. Yeah. My dad's cool, and then my mom just gets antsy. When I go out to play the puck, she'll like freak out and stuff. You know, like she just gets scared. But I love it. I love playing goalie.
Yeah, it's a big pressure position. And Noah, tell me about this situation. Game starts. 30 seconds in, someone comes down the ice. They take a little bit of a weak shot and it goes in on you. How do you react to that? What do you have little triggers to get yourself just to forget about it, or how does that work for you?
Well, basically, I just like completely forget about it. I got to keep working on the next shot. Always, it'll get me down, but you know what? If it's third a game, we still have the rest of it. I always do this one thing. My idol, Braden Holtby, he does this thing where he throws up water in the air and he tracks all the droplets coming down. I do that now after any goal. Actually, it doesn't have to be like a weak goal, but I do that, and I just keep going forward.
That's awesome. Now tell us, Noah, as a goalie, what do you think your strengths are as a goalie, And also, what are some things that you need to work on as a goalie going forward?
I definitely feel like my strengths are tracking the puck, coming from the point shots with traffic in front. Also, playing the puck to my defenseman or just passing it up the ice to get the boys going to the O zone. I definitely feel like I need to be a little faster going side to side from across, like pass across in the slot. I definitely need to be faster there. But yeah, just tracking and playing the puck mostly.
Now, you said that you're working with a personal trainer. Do you work with a personal trainer for strength and conditioning? And do you also work with a personal goalie coach, or how does that go?
I think Jamie will be getting a goalie coach for when we start the season. But right now, I'm training for strength and conditioning to get me started for like development camps and training camps, all that stuff. Yeah. And then once the season gets going, we're gonna be working a lot with goalie coach.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah. You mentioned the throwing. This leads me to my next question too. You mentioned about throwing the water droplets in the air and tracking them and stuff like that. Then my next question was going to be, are you a superstitious guy, and do you have a lot of superstitions and pregame rituals?
I do. So before the game starts, I always have to go to Tim Hortons. I grab a small French vanilla. I always do that. And then I go to the rink. I do all my warm-up, put my headphones in. I throw the balls against the wall. I stretch, warm up with my teammates. And then I'll go to the bench. So on the John Rhodes, it's the other side. So I'll walk over there. I'll grab my stick, start taping it there, and then I'll track the ice. Just imagine plays going on, just tracking the ice, and then I'll be taping my stick while listening to music. And but right before the game starts, actually during warm up, so I'll go on the ice, and then I'll let the players go around and shoot the puck, and then I will go to the bench area, do all my stretches, and I don't know why, but I do exactly 8 up downs. So I'll go up and then drop my butterfly and then go back up just 8 times. I don't know where that came from, but I just started doing it. And then right as soon as the puck drops, I'll squirt water in the air, tracking the droplets. I'll pour it down my neck, and I'll tap both my pads, both posts, and I'm ready to go. That's
a lot.
Yeah.
And what's on the playlist, Noah? What kind of music are you listening to?
Mostly rap. I'm a big rap fan. I like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and how about as for a pregame meal? Do you make your mom cook you something special, or is it just kind of random? Or
Usually she'll either cook me this bow tie pasta with baked cheese on it, or I'll stop at. You guys know where Paisanos is?
Yeah.
I always get a single plate of pasta from there. I love it.
It is good stuff.
Yeah.
So this year you're coming to a situation. You'll be the younger goalie in a tandem with Noah Zeppa. Right. I don't know how well you know Noah. I know Noah. He's a really good kid. Do you know him well, and are you looking forward to that arrangement? And do you know are you guys going to be splitting, or that's to be determined? Or
I'm not sure what we're doing yet for the starting position. I'm assuming that we could be splitting at the beginning of the year, and then the rest will have to show who's playing better. But I know him pretty well. He's a good guy. I love him. I'm excited to be working with him this year, so it should be fun.
Yeah, I think it's a good setup for you guys. He's a little bit older than you. He's been around a little bit, and I think you guys will be in good shape there. Now, as far as long-term goals, long-term, short-term goals, where do you see yourself? What's your goals in hockey? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, and where do you see yourself in hockey in 5 years as a goalie? I know those are tough questions, but what do you think in there?
No, it's okay. In 2 years, I hope to be signed to an OHL team, possibly playing there. But since I was a little kid, obviously, like my main goal was to go to the NHL and play there. Like that's a dream come true for me. Just playing in front of thousands and thousands of fans, just having my family there watching you. Like that's just the ultimate goal for me. That's what I.
That's awesome. And as far as school goes, is there something you're interested in as a student? If if you have to say go the CIS route or even the NCAA route, is there anything that interests you in school?
Well, I was planning on doing a 2-year course for fire science at either university or college, and then 2 years for a paramedic. And then I would just work at a fire station as a paramedic or firefighter, and then go to any school. I'm just gonna try a bunch. I think my main one that I wanted to go to was Cambridge College. So I wasn't really trying to go for the NCAA route, but if that does happen, if I do get a scholarship, I would 100% go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, you're always going to have a lot of options, and you got to keep them open. That's good. Now, here's a tough one. You're only down to 3 choices now. So I've asked all the other guys we had on. They had a bigger choice. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
Oh God, I really want the. I'm thinking the Islanders might win it. I really don't. I don't want Montreal to win. I don't know why. I know they're Canadian team, but I don't want them to win it, and I know that I don't want Tampa to win it. I really want Islanders to win it. I don't know why. My team went out in the first round, so
yeah, my team went out first round too, the Oilers. So
mine too.
It's funny to watch though. I mean, especially as a goalie, you have to appreciate though what Carey Price has done for Montreal. Right?
Oh yeah,
he's been fantastic. So
oh yeah.
Yeah. And, I'm going to let Jay ask you a couple questions. I know he has a few. I'll give you the opportunity before I turn you over to Jay. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been awesome. Thanks for coming on. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank and going forward and, that's helped you along the way?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom and my dad, especially. They've helped me for years and years to come to hockey, paying for it, driving me there. Always supported me in the stands. Just looking up to them and seeing them just makes me happy whenever I'm playing, They've brought me a long way, especially my coaches too. The former ones in Bantamere, Jeff Toms, Dave Doucette, Terry Chitteroni, all the great coach staff, Jamie, obviously.
Yeah.
All those guys, they helped me along the way, but especially my family. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn you over to Jay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And Noah, first things first, I always say goalies are different, and I'm going to throw you under the bus here. I always say goalies are different. Is that your graduation dress hanging in the back, or?
No, I'm actually at my girlfriend's right now. She's graduating today. So I'm all dressed up.
I know goalies are different, so I thought I'd ask. So. The thing is we Soo Sports, like you say, covered you guys in your red and white games this year, and again, 2021 was a totally crazy year for everything, but for sports. How are you taking your game from where you guys got to play this year to moving to the Thunderbirds, making that big jump? Is it going to be a hard transition, you think?
It'll be a little difficult to start. I haven't been on the ice in a while. I don't know where to skate. Like, no one's having any camps or anything like that as of right now. But again, I said earlier that I've been training, getting my conditioning down, and I'll be ready to compete when the season starts.
Now, again, like Jim had mentioned about, again, I know the season hasn't started, but you've talked to Jamie at least, and possibly Coach Jarrett. Do you know if their philosophy is their number one goalie, or whoever's playing the best gets to the next game? Do you know that yet?
I think that's what Hendo did when he coached me for the major team and the minor team. So I think that's probably what we're going to be doing again if Cole's up for that too. So I think they're going to start both of us at the beginning of the year, and then see who's playing better. At least I think that's what's going to happen. If not, then I really don't know.
And the question Jim had asked you about how you felt about the OHL draft and not being drafted, but prime example is your teammate and captain, Caleb Mangoni.
Right.
Didn't get drafted, got drafted in the U18, and 2 days later got signed. So there's always big light at the end of the tunnel, possibly, right?
Right.
So, and that's something, again, you have this year to prove yourself. And looks like you guys are going with a young team this year, don't you?
Oh, yeah. We signed a bunch of 04s from my team last year, like Creo. We signed Colby Fellinger, Michael Beltrano, a bunch of young guys. So we're going to be a young group this year, but I think we'll do good this year. Yeah.
And again, with the goaltending tandem, with the two of you, what's the difference between you and Noah Zeppa? Do you know it all?
I haven't really seen him play. I'm not too sure how to answer. Like, I haven't really seen him play, so I couldn't really tell you the differences. But I know that we'll be competing against each other, and it's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens. And
I know the NOJHL just released not their schedule, but their structure and how they're going to do the season. So the first half of the season to Christmas, for mom and dad, it's nice because they don't have to go they only have to go to Sudbury, right?
Right.
So they're allowed to be in the rink. It's not a lot of traveling for them to come and watch you in your rookie season, right?
Yeah, which is good.
So my last question, we always ask all the guests on here, when it comes to pizza, what is your favorite place in town to have pizza?
I'm gonna have to go with Mrs. B's. Mrs. B's on this one. I really like theirs.
Now, is that up on the hill or the West End?
The one on Great Northern.
Great Northern?
Yeah. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. That's a good pizza. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Noah. It's been awesome talking to you. And
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
And I'd like to say, hope to have you again, maybe later in the fall, and then we can actually ask you how you're doing when the season starts.
Of course, that sounds good.
Well,
Okay.
Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.
Thank you guys. See you later.